If you are new to film, it is, well, first of all, when you decide to work, that you want to work in film, I mean, everyone's probably like, why are you doing this? Probably feeling a little isolated. You're probably feeling a little anxious, apprehensive, like, is this the right path for me? And I know there's a lot of fear there. And in my SFPA classes, what I do is I ask them all to write on an index card anonymously. They submit it to me and they tell me what their fears are. I want to know what their fears are so we can address them. And surprisingly, class after class, what I found is that they're all the same. Every single person, almost, weirdly enough, have the exact same fears. So before we jump into the videos of what the fears are, just know that you're not alone. Just right off the top, you are not alone. Welcome to Beyond Film School, where I teach you all about the film industry. I'm Amber, I'm the founder of Beyond Film School, and I'm a DGA Assistant Director. And I have to say that I am very, very thankful. If you are watching this video, I'm very grateful to have you here. If you are a subscriber, you're a follower of Beyond Film School, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, please give me a like or subscribe. And I'm going to take a page from Diary of a CEO because he gets on there, he talks about his analytics and how many people or whatever percentage doesn't subscribe, but they watch this video. I went into my analytics and it was like 67%. It was something crazy of the amount of people who watch my videos but don't subscribe. So hook a girl up, subscribe, let me know you're out there. And if you get value from this video, like it. When you're starting out in film, everyone pretty much has the same fear. And I found this out by asking over and over and over again the classes that I have over the years. Now, I've been doing my classes since 2018. I asked continuously because even though I think I know what their fears are, I want to personally address the class, and we get into this discussion because I want to keep up with what each generation is dealing with. And as I move forward in my career, I am more and more removed from when I started out. So I kind of want to make sure I stay grounded with people who are just starting in film. And the first big one, and this is number one for a reason, the first big fear that most people have getting into film is the I'll mess up, I'll make a mistake, or I'll fail. You think you're just going to do something wrong. And I think that the only way I know how to really address this is to just say, you're going to mess up. You are just starting out in film. You're at the entry level position. Expect to mess up. There's a lot of pressure that goes into getting into a new job, a new position, a new field. And I get that. And just know you cannot be perfect. You are just starting out, and that is an entry-level position. So there's no way that you can do every single thing right. So let's just throw that perfectionist mindset out. And really, the perfectionist mindset is really going to put a lot of stress on you because there's no way of knowing everything, first of all. I mean, even me being in the industry since 2007, almost 20 years, I still learn something new every single time I'm on a gig. I make mistakes still. I do something wrong. Yes, I have been fired. There's no way to avoid it. And the way you learn is from those mistakes and doing something wrong. I'll mess up, I'll make mistakes, or I'll fail, or get fired, because some people are really, really fearful of getting fired. And that's okay. I get it, because being fired hurts, it stings a little bit, there's a little bit of rejection there, but all of that, it's like, you know, it's gonna happen. So I think the pressure comes off when you just say, you know what, I'm gonna do the day today and I'm just gonna do the best I can. I might make some mistakes, but I'll learn from them. And the one thing you don't wanna do is when you do make a mistake on set, you don't wanna dwell on that mistake and you don't wanna spiral. And I've seen this happen in real time because then when that happens, you tend to make even more mistakes because you're so stressed out and you're so flustered. Let's just get rid of that. I'll mess up, I'll make a mistake, I'll fail, whatever. Get that out of the way because it's gonna happen. So if you expect it to happen, it'll like happen a little bit easier or with a little bit more grace. And also it happens less actually. So let's just take a breath and just kind of just say, you know what, I am gonna mess up. Expect to mess up. It's just gonna be part of life. The next fear that I see very often, or even on the same card, because I let them write whatever, how many fears they have. It could be 2, 3, 1. I actually got one index card one time that said, I have no fears. And I was like, wow, what is it like to be superhuman to have no fears of getting into a new industry that you've never worked in before?
He's a psychopath.
This next one is interesting because it has to do with likability. It has to do with acceptance. Am I going to fit in? Will they accept me? Now, there is a lot of gatekeeping. There is not that many jobs. Now, as we know, the strikes and the pandemic and all this stuff or whatever has definitely slowed down production, and there are less jobs. This is very apparent. The studios are doing very, very different things now. AI, everyone has anxiety about that. So there's less jobs. There's more competition, and you really got to know your shit to make sure you're on set, or you got to know a lot of people, or you really just kind of keep making sure you're on people's mind to keep getting hired. Those are different videos. If you're interested in keep getting hired, definitely I have videos for you here. I'll leave a card for you. Fitting in and being liked is very much a realistic fear for a lot of people. So if you have this fear, you are not alone. For me, it really was a wake-up call because I really didn't think I really needed anyone to like me. I was definitely the opposite. I was like, I don't really give a if anyone likes me. Once I realized, I was like, I don't think really no one, I think maybe I'm just, no one really likes me. Once I figured that out, I was like, oh snap, I gotta change some things about myself. That's a different path that you need to go on. But people who are just out of the gate great people and they are likable and they're like worried about people liking them, they tend to get in a little bit more of themselves. They have a little bit more of a guard up. They're more defensive, and then they don't really show who they really are, and then they end up being fake or looking fake to some people, and then they actually deflect more people than they bring people in. I mean, here's the thing, guys. You just have to be yourself. Cliche. Just be yourself. Find your people, and then you're gonna keep getting hired by the people who like you. And this is so true. I'm gonna be honest, I get hired by people who I get along with and who I like and who like me. Not everyone's gonna like you. Let's just like expel that fear right now, is that it is literally impossible for you to be liked and to like everyone. You can't be everyone's friend. Yes, you can be civil and respectful, but you cannot be liked by every single person because people have things going on. They project different things. They have a lot of things happening with their ego and their psyche and all this stuff. So a lot of things are happening for a person to like you and then you to like a person, right? So we all have different preferences and flavors and things that we love about people, things we hate about people. Understand that not everyone's gonna like you. If that person happens to be into a position of power, that's okay. I still don't want to work for that person. If we don't get along, it's not worth working with them. So let's just, fitting in, being accepted, being likable, it's a fear and you're not alone if you have it. This is a big one. This is a big one, and for a reason. And I just mentioned the last one about how it's more competitive. There's less productions. There's less productions in the US going to the UK. There's less in the UK going everywhere else. It's everything's going to Eastern European countries. It's kind of weird how that's working out. The other one is, will I have enough job security or the financial stress? So this kind of goes hand in hand because, getting consistent work is one thing, but then making sure that you have the financial means to support yourself with the amount of jobs you're getting throughout the year. Now, when I was a PA, I needed to make sure that I had other jobs. I think I had like two different jobs. I had like two different barista jobs. No, I was a barista and I worked in a master control operator TV station, and then I was also picking up additional PA days when I first started out. And then there was other times where I was like working full time as a set PA, and then on the weekends I was being a barista. So the grind is hard, guys, when you're a set PA and you're just starting out, or when you're an assistant or a director assistant or something like that. It is very, very hard. You have to find a way to get a flexible job when you're first starting out. Because here's the thing, and I see this over and over and over again. A lot of people email me when they're recent graduates, or they reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Hey, I graduated from such and such place. Where can I apply to be an employee of a production company?
For some reason, I don't know where this comes from, but everyone thinks when they step out of college that they're going to be working for a production company, when most of the time, large percentage, a majority of people who work in film are going to be freelance. And I think I just need to dispel this myth that you're going to work for a production company. Now, if you happen to work for a studio, those jobs are very hard to get, and they're even more competitive than the freelance jobs that you're thinking about. Now, I'm not talking like freelance where you're like going to be making your own commercials, which you can, by the way. And if you want to make your own opportunities, you should be doing that. I'm not talking about like starting your own side business. That's a whole different other thing. But when you're like working on certain shows or TV shows, movies, music videos, commercials, stuff like that, especially commercial, you might get like one here, one there, you might get a feature film, you might get a TV show, you might get stuck in the TV show loop and be on, Law and Order, then SVU, and then Blue Bloods. Well, Blue Bloods is over now. I went to Boston, whatever. Actually shooting in Vancouver, I think. Somewhere in Canada, I'm not sure. You are going to be jumping around a lot. And for some reason, people think that they want to work in a production company where they're going to be there for 30 years. I'm sorry, that just not is reality anymore. I don't know who has told people this in college, maybe because a lot of professors are an older generation and that's what maybe they did that. I have no idea. But for some reason, every recent graduate is like, I want to work at a production company for many, many years. Does not work that way. I'm very, very sorry. Let's just know this right now. It's like job security in film is up and down. Now, for example, for me right now, let's talk about 2025, what my year has looked like. Now, I have gotten a few commercials and I have gotten a feature film, most as a first AD. Has it filled my calendar? Absolutely not. Now, back in 2021, 2022, 2020 even, I like even right out of the pandemic, I was working literally nonstop. I was job after job after job after job after job. I was very lucky and I'm very grateful for those years because I got my days to get into the DGA because of it. But once the strike hit, after that, it was very, very hard. I got onto the night agent. And after that, a lot of family stuff, father passed, all this crazy stuff, took time away, whatever. And then now I'm here, 2024, a little less work, 2025, a lot less work. So while I run Beyond Film School, I'm still working, not as much as I used to. But the thing is as an AD, I don't have to grind as hard because my rate is a lot higher. So as a PA, I was making like, I don't know, $210 a day. And as an AD, I can make anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to $1,500 a day if I'm a first AD in the union on a top tier majors movie or major TV show. I don't have to work as many crazy days as an AD, and it's kind of nice. But as a PA, I was like, it was like nonstop minimum wage. It was hard. So job security is a thing in film. And what do we do to supplement that? What do we do to take care of this fear? Expect it. Expect that it's like, you know what? There could be good months. There could be bad months. There could be great years, bad years. You never know, but you have to make sure you figure out your finances, right? Don't go spend crazy. Let's not get in crazy debt as much as possible. Let's try to make sure your finances are in order so you're not struggling. For example, rent, get roommates. Make sure you're not eating out all the time and buying DoorDash because good Lord, those fees, let's get real, people. Thinking about that, thinking about your finances, thinking about saving for when the going is good and you have job after job after job, save some of that money. And I know I'm not like a financial analyst or an accountant or whatever. I have no right giving you financial advice, but what I will say is save. Don't spend so much money and make sure that you can survive when you don't have a lot of work coming. The other thing you can do, I know it's hard out there, what is the side job? What is the other job that you're going to get? What is a flexible job that you can have that will work with a freelance film type of environment? If you are called every now and then as a day player, PA or AD or whatever, and maybe you work on a feature film every now and then, you're only working for a couple weeks at a time. Well, what can you do in that time? For me, what I do is I'm a tour director. I love it. Just randomly going to DC, Boston, do tours in New York and Philly. It's like, for me, traveling and being a tour director feels like I'm being an AD just in travel. I'm handling logistics. I get some customer service in there. I make the passengers happy or my guests happy. Tell people even when I have student groups, tell them a whole lovely bunch of facts. It's lovely. That's what I like to do. So, and it also gets me out of the grind of being in film for too much. So that's what I do. It is hard. Finances are a thing. So make sure that you don't have to obsess over getting like the perfect job. What I will say about these fears is that when you worry more, they tend to happen more. So don't worry too much about being liked, just be yourself. Don't worry too much about getting jobs because they're gonna come to you as long as you're yourself, you're being creative, you're doing what you love. More and more stuff come to you and more opportunities come to you as well. And also don't worry about messing up because it's gonna happen. We mess up every day of our lives and people are messing up until they die. So it's a part of life. So any of those three fears, I know that many people watching this are gonna say, oh my God, yes, you've addressed it. And sometimes the reality of the situation is people are not going to like that, but I'm here giving you the real deal. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. The world of film is crazy sometimes, and maybe you have different fears. So you are more than welcome to share those below. If you are so brave enough to share your fears, put them in the comments. I would love to hear it. And then we can commiserate a little bit, because when I was first starting out, one of my fears, I didn't really have the fear of not getting enough jobs. I think mainly it was am I gonna make it? That's kind of that's a bonus fear. Am I gonna make it? Am I just gonna make a fool of myself? I think that was the fear of judgment, me getting into film and no one in my family or my friends knowing what that life is like, and then trying to accomplish this big goal. It took many years to do it, but I did it. And now I'm teaching others how to do it. And I think there's nothing better than me trying to help others get into what they want for their goals and dreams. But I mean, for me, it wasn't if I was likable. We talked about a little bit about that, about how I had to make that change in order to get more opportunities. But I really didn't have a fear of paying my rent or the finances or security, because I kind of knew that's how it was, that it was freelance, and it's just as it comes, more and more opportunities will come to you. For me, I always paid my rent. I was always able to pay my rent no matter what. Somehow, some way, I just didn't worry about it. I was the next job's gonna come. I just tried to focus on me being creative, loving my life, being grateful for what I have, and just going with it, and just trying to, be patient. That's another thing. Just be patient, guys. It's going to be okay. Just be patient. I know that's very, very hard. It's very hard to do. But yeah, for me, it was a little bit different coming in. I think I was more I had a lot of pride going into it. So that may be also your fear. So let me know in the comments what your fears are if you are brave enough. That is it for now. I shall see you next time.